But without knowledge or opportunity, many American families can remain stuck in the vicious cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. But the United Way of Central Louisiana and the Alexandria Housing Authority are giving families the knowledge that they need for a better financial future. Bennett Rowland Jr. has that story.
How to reestablish credit?
Building Stronger Families, a 10-part course that's providing an opportunity for residents to build skills in the areas of financial stability, education, and health.
Because you already got it established, right? It's just not good, right?
The class meets every other Thursday and is led by Deborah McKinney, a financial advisor who's become more of a mentor.
Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax.
McKinney shares her guidance, provides instruction, and exposes families to resources, enabling them to become financially empowered.
Swipe, swipe.
Even sharing her personal struggles on the road to securing her own financial freedom.
Until they said decline. What you mean decline? Decline.
The goal is giving families a hand up, not a handout, and pushing them toward new things, according to Stefan Fontenot, director of the Alexandria Housing Authority.
Housing should be a transitional situation, so as their situations improve, then they move off the program and allow other families with a greater need to come on our program.
When learning to manage money, it helps to have a little extra money to manage, so those who attend get a stipend.
So if they save $1,000, we'll go ahead and match that as well.
And a nice bonus, but lessons they can take with them for the rest of their lives.
Taking those skills, putting them into action, and then, getting rewarded for that as well.
In Alexandria, Bennett Rowland Jr., News Channel 5, your local station.